Happy Sunday and happy Mother's Day from Love and Entrepreneurship. It's Lysa, the boss lady.
And the man that does all the cooking, Chef Square.
And it smells so good in this house, y'all. Yes, I'm teasing. But it smells so good in here, y'all. So,
Dr. Eve.
So, guys, we are super excited. We have Jahcorrian and Burkes here to talk to us today about love and entrepreneurship and the way that they make it work. So, without further ado, we want to welcome our guests, Jahcorrian and Burkes.
Hi.
Hi. Happy Sunday.
Going good. How about y'all? Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you. Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you.
So, how are you guys this Sunday?
We're good.
It's very good. How about you all?
Awesome. It's not too hot. It's not cold.
I was tired, boss.
You're fine. He's fine. He wanted to do it.
Okay.
So tell me what it is that you guys do respectively. What do you do, Miss Sybil? What do you do, Mr. Jahcorrian?
Okay, so what Sybil and I, we kind of both do together is we educate professionals and consumers in the real estate. So
you might be calling y'all.
About to say, let me find out. I need to place a call in or something.
Yeah, go ahead. Absolutely.
So what exactly? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, we invite the call.
So what exactly is that? Does that mean? Like, what does that entail?
Go ahead.
So, well, you can take the educational part.
Okay. Well, so as far as the educational part of real estate for professionals, it's educating them on the processes in order to purchase a home for the consumer side of it. And then for the professional side of it, it educates the individuals on just the business of real estate in general, on how to gain clients and how to turn that into a monetary value.
Oh, okay.
And then I actually work on the marketing side as well as so we actually, for our team members that come on, new agents, old agents, once they join our team, I'm the one that actually gives them the layout for their 30-day social media post so that they are actively staying fresh on people's minds and being the first, name to come into their mind when they are thinking about real estate. And then I am more so the personality when it comes to both of us. So I work on the recruiting part.
Okay. I can completely understand that because that's kind of like the dynamic that Chef Square and I have. I'm the butterfly, I'm the social one, and he's more of the intellectual one. So that makes complete sense.
Yeah, but then again, then it's a flip. Then it's okay. I am the serious protector. You get not through. You get not to her, but you got to go through me.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean it is a very similar dynamic though.
Yes, very. That's why I guess that's kind of how the energy. Energy attracts energy. So I guess I can get with that. So I want to start asking questions because I'm nosy. I like to know. But the purpose of our show is to let people know how it is to balance love and entrepreneurship. Because a lot of entrepreneurs out there are single and they think that love is not possible because they're entrepreneurs. But the reason that I choose to interview couples, and especially married couples, is because you don't have to be alone as an entrepreneur. I mean, clearly. But I was one of those people. I thought that I had to be alone as well, but we found a way to make it work. So tell me what it is that you guys do that makes your love and entrepreneurship work. How do you keep your balance?
Yeah, we say all the time, balance is the choice. And so it's just a matter of us understanding each other's weaknesses and strengths, and using that in our partnership, in business, and in our relationship. And so where one has a strength, we make sure that that person shines in that area. It's kind of like a toolbox, right? So you want to utilize your partner in the best areas that they can be utilized, just like you would, somebody that works for you. It's very much the same. And so another thing that he always talks about is the arguments. And you want to talk about that? Because it's real life, right?
It's definitely real
right.
life. You know, you have even like, let's say for someone who's not an entrepreneur yet, they're thinking about like at 9 to 5, you have your conflicts with your colleagues, and even with entrepreneurship, with spouse, it's the same way. But the only difference between the two is you have to learn to separate work from your relationship. And so we kind of have it to where, like, quote unquote, like the time block. So it's like, hey, when we're at work, we're not husband and wife. And even with some of the meetings that we go to, and people are really like blown away, like afterwards, and find out they're husband and wife. When there's business, like this is business. This is my business partner, even though she is my spouse, but we're husband and wife out there.
I totally get that, because with me having to protect the social butterfly, I totally understand exactly where you're coming from. Yes. Because it's because I don't like the arguments either. I don't either. I mean,
we've had one argument in 2 years.
I mean, and even that, I was rolling the dice. I'm just saying. But my thing is that even with that, being able to make business mm-hmm. and pleasure, or home and the business, and I love for when we're in a business setting, for her to take the forefront, and I sit back and I just watch her work. Yeah. I mean, it's amazing,
He's my photographer and videographer.
Not by choice, but
he takes really good videos and pictures. So yes, he does really, really good. But I think that that what you guys said is important, because when you're in a public setting, or even if we're not so public, having a business relationship is important, because I'm a reality TV buff. Mm-hmm. I like reality TV, and I was watching Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, and one of the singers, her husband was her manager. But when she was in the booth, all she wanted to do was kiss on him and babe this and boo that. And she wasn't getting her work done. And when he was hard on her, she was upset and wanted to pout when they were at home. Mm-hmm. And it's important that you are able to have that business relationship and have a couple relationship separately, because that could be a problem. It could be a problem when you have to offer some constructive criticism in a business setting if you're not in your business hat and you're like, well, my husband picking on me. You absolutely have to do that. So my next question is, how do you make your time? Do you have like special time that you have that is just you, period, nothing else? Or do you just integrate your alone time into your work?
That's a good question. That's a good question. I think it's more so like we just integrated into our work.
Yeah.
We like, as far
work is first.
Yeah, work is first. That we're building an empire, and that for both of us, that is our ultimate goal. And so, as far as we always stop and smell the roses periodically, but the biggest thing for us is just keep moving. As far as on the business side, we know that we love each other, and we know that, hey, at the end of the day, I'm going to be home with it. the same way as well. So
exactly,
you
because
gotta
we
make
know
the most
that
of
in
it.
the long run, once we are where we want to be as far as the empire and legacy, that then will be the time to really set aside and enjoy each other. Not that we don't, but we, to answer the question, we don't necessarily designate a time block to say, okay, this is our time. Because we have kids, so we're always business, kids, sleep. It's
Oh goodness. So
Probably,
and both of you are okay with that?
probably about twice
Oh,
a quarter, we get a weekend to where we say we're gonna just have a date
Yeah.
night. But most of the time, it's like great
It's
business.
business, yeah. Yeah.
You know what? I think that is actually okay if both of y'all are on the
Mhm.
same page doing the same things, because a lot of times y'all are just kind of bringing it together. And since y'all kind of interchange hands, it's kind of easy to just kind of like, hey, let's do this real quick.
Exactly.
Yeah, and we're together pretty much 99% of the
24/7.
day. And so, like, you know, even for us, like lunch, you know, if we don't have any meetings, this is my lunch partner. So, you know,
Yeah.
we have those times. We maybe, you know, set aside from talking about work, maybe 5 or 10 minutes of it. Okay, well, let's talk about this or something with the family or with the kids, you know.
Yeah.
So we just try to find time, but most importantly is our work, just because I look at it as far as like us being in the service industry, and with us being able to help other people, I feel like that propels our relationship much further as well, because it allows us to see, okay, well, this is how much stronger Sybil is in this area. This is how much stronger I am in this area, and then it allows us to put it together and, of course, you know, to work at it and being better. And there's several things that she may say during the day, like, "Hey, babe, I love the way you did that, but I think you should have did this differently." So like that's one of the ways that our relationship works, is because we're steady trying to make each other better at, you know, what we do, not just in business but as a person.
I definitely respect that. And you have to be strong. You have to be a strong couple to actually to head it on like that. I personally don't see a problem with that. My partner, on the other hand, wants his time. And he does not want to share that time talking about business all the time. So I think that every couple has to have the balance that works for, that works for them. And if both of you guys are okay with that balance, I absolutely don't see anything wrong with it. I commend you. But to be honest, since my husband has been demanding of his time, and I do take the time to give him his time, I wouldn't have it another way now. now I look forward to the time that I'm able to give him, and not just be business 24/7.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna tell you, because I was an entrepreneur for about 6 years prior to me getting with her. And I had stopped, and I went back to corporate America, and then when I got with her, I picked it back up. And the one thing about it was, when I was an entrepreneur, we had at least 2 off days. And those 2 off days, come hell or high water, I was not doing business on those 2 off days. If circumstances dictated something different, then that was different. But most of the time, I set aside those off days. Now, with her, she's like an Energizer bunny when it comes down to work. And she work herself into a frenzy. And I have to stop her. But instead of me saying, baby, go sit down somewhere, you need to rest. The first time I did that, I was like, okay, yeah, you need to rest. You need to get your off time. She double packed her schedule. I was like, you know what? I fought and cut her schedule in half. She doubled it again. I said, you know what? How about this? How about we gonna incorporate your rest time with my time? So that way, if I'm demanding of my time, you have no choice but to rest.
Right. Because while I'm giving him his time, I'm resting, because he's going to cook, he's a chef, and there's not, my children are adults. So, it's not like I have to, go and change a diaper or anything like that. So that's exactly how that happened. But in that happening, I was able to learn how to rest. So that leads to my next question. So you don't get burned out? You don't, feel overwhelmed to where you need a mental health day or just a day?
Not so much.
We have we have mentors that we can call on, and I just wanted to say, like, as far as our inspiration, where it came from, because I noticed Jeff said that he licensed a long time and he came from the entrepreneur space before. But as far as us, as our teachers were my parents and their husband and wife, couple and entrepreneur, the whole nine. And so they're together 24/7,
literally,
like, all the time. And so that's kind of like, what we mimic, our relationship and our future, on as well. And so, that's why I say everyone has their own perception of how they intend to do it, but it's mostly as far as like where you came from, like, saying that before that. So he had the luxury of having his own thing. But then that, that luxury just kind of ends for you to, bridge together. But I think that's probably what.
Okay, I got a point I'm gonna bring up, but we're gonna cut to a commercial break real quick, and when we come back, I'm gonna get to my point.
All right.
If you're looking for healthy meal prep, family-style meals, or catering for your next event, look no further than the East Traveling Square Kitchen with Chef Square, Alan Phillips, specializing in soul food, family-style dining, and southern flavor. Chef Square can adhere to dietary needs like keto and bariatric meal prep without compromising on taste. Take advantage of weekly meal plans like the Starter Pack, 5 meals for $75 with 3 entree choices. Additional meal plans and contact-free delivery is available. Contact Chef Square of the East Traveling Square Kitchen today at 832-495-8836 and tell them Stunner Radio sent you.
All right, we're back. My point that I was about to go into, the difference in between us and y'all are, well, we have businesses separate from each other. Yeah. So I have to kind of tug at some time, because I'm this way and she's that way, and I'm like, hey.
we have a couple businesses.
Well, we have two together.
We have 3 that we run together.
Yeah, we have 3 that we run together. So, I have 3, and ain't no telling what this lady look.
I didn't count this week.
This girl got more jobs than the law should allow.
But I do have a lot of businesses, and we share a few of them, but sometimes we are at different directions, so that's kind of like the parallel between you guys and us. But I do like your dynamic, and of course, what I try to do with every guest is take a page from their book. I learn something from every single guest that we have on the show, but that's the purpose. The purpose is to learn, from you guys, because there's somebody watching, and they may take the same perspective that you take, or they may take the same perspective that we take, or they may take the perspective of the guest from show 4 or show 6, who knows, but I think that it's important. And what I really love about it is how different I love the fact that we can keep doing this and get different opinions and different answers.
Yeah.
It makes me feel like, what we're doing is actually serving a purpose, to people.
So I what I'm taking from this is, basically, y'all are saying if you run the race together, that y'all can hold hands at the finish line.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I respect that.
I like that.
Yes, I definitely, I respect that. I respect that big time. And I think that it kind of enriches your relationship. On some levels, it enriches your relationship. But I respect, big big kudos to you guys, because I respect the fact that you're that determined that you would take that approach. That is an amazing. You guys have to have the best discipline ever.
Thank you.
Well, yeah, and I'm a firm believer that if it was easy, that everyone would be.
That is a fact.
Yeah.
Fact. But you have to pick your heart.
Definitely got to work
That's
towards.
true too.
I won't say that it is easy, but I won't say that it's the most difficult thing as well. I will say that I haven't had a better experience with working. So I'm very blessed to be working alongside my wife.
But it's also nice because you know each other on a different level. So when there is time for constructive criticism, it's coming from the best part, rather than to attack you. Because like you said earlier, you want to better your partner, and so when, like, for us, we are coming from just a different place in the work arenas, and now we're joining our strengths together, into one. And so for us, it's been interesting, just in the way that we can develop each other, just because of our previous job experience.
Because when we first met, I was actually already an entrepreneur, and she was a teacher.
School, yeah.
And so, we kind of like had to shift some mindsets a little bit, and to actually find out, what would be better for us as far as on the long term wise. I just see that so many, like, even when like young people get together and like maybe one person is an entrepreneur or one person is not an entrepreneur, they kind of like come together, and conflict between the two is because that entrepreneur, they have that free time, and then the person that has a job, they have to follow those protocols and procedures that company has. Yeah. And so let's say for that entrepreneur, he may have some time with, maybe he has 2 or 3 hours where he can set aside and really be attentive to their spouse. Whereas so the person that's working a traditional job, well, they know that, hey, only up to this certain time is what I have available. So whatever you have going on in your life, it has to stop and it has to be able to work. But for the entrepreneur, you and I both know that as far as our jobs, like, there's no definite time of when work is going to call. You may receive a call at last moment, and it's a really big deal, and you know that, hey, this is going to take my business to the next level. As an entrepreneur, are you going to turn that down? No, you're going to keep going, and you're going to make sure that enhances business. But as a 9-to-5 employee, like, yeah, you're going to be understanding because you want your partner to succeed, but then deep down, you got to feel like, okay, this person is putting their business.
Yeah, I do. Okay, I got a question. Out of the two of you, which one is the better facilitator? And the reason why I asked that question is because I am the facilitator.
You messy. You just wanted to say you was a facilitator.
Well, no, because the reason why I say that is because I take her ideas and I bring them to life. Mm-hmm. And the way I structure, because I'm a full-time entrepreneur.
Yes.
And she has a 9-to-5. So the way I structure it is I can get whatever I need to be done for the day up until the time that she punches out. Mm-hmm. When she punch out, I punch out.
Gotcha.
So when she gets home, I'm ready to specifically deal with her.
Right. And that's how we balance without having to actually put a stop sign. For the last year or so, maybe 2, we eat dinner together, period. Okay. We eat dinner together every day. That is how we begin our quality time. We have dinner. By the time I come home, if I'm in the office, by the time I come home, he will usually have dinner ready. We will eat dinner. We have a couple of TV shows that we watch after I've been an entrepreneur for 6 years. the past 6 years, I have not watched TV. I've not had a show that I watch, and we have a couple that we do watch together, and that's how we get our our alone time in. However, when I'm doing a travel training and I'm on the road training travel agents, he's right there. Mm-hmm. He is. If I'm on the road, he's on the road too.
Yes.
And
right.
I think that's kind of where you guys are. You guys are, if there's a show, we're doing it. We're there. And he is a facilitator. I'll have an idea for something and I will lose my mind because I cannot figure out how to make it work. And then he'll say, oh, just, and I'm like, oh, oh, and it works. And I feel like that one person has to be the facilitator, but I kind of figured it was him. Because the way that you said, oh, I'll let you do the education part, that kind of gave me that vibe. And the fact that you're the creative one, the social one, the butterfly, and I relate to that. So I automatically kind of felt like that, that's kind of what the dynamic was.
I feel like that's honestly the best dynamic that you have inside of an entrepreneur, love relationship, is just because. As an individual, I would say myself as an introvert, you can't do everything. Yeah. And so you have to have some type of, like a complementary characteristic to you. And that's what she brings to me.
Right.
So.
Very important for you guys to complement each other. What I'm not, he is. What he's not, I am. It's very important to complement each other.
Kind of reminds me of a collaboration Jadakiss did with Styles P, where they did an in and out verse, where Jada would start off and Styles P would end the verse. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of like, and it just flowed.
Like finishing each other's
sentences. Right. Yeah. It's like finishing each other's sentences. And y'all's balance is the quintessential of building a bridge while you're going across it.
Yeah. It's like 100%. That's entrepreneurship and love at the same time, right there.
Right. I think that is genius. Because not a lot of people have that though.
Not a lot of people have that determination.
Just the tool sets that's needed to be able to do something like that, like on the move though. Mm-hmm. Like that is amazing.
Yeah, you have to be very adaptive for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So if you had something to tell to a young entrepreneurial couple, what advice would you give them?
My advice would be and to hear, just listen, and be ready to respond, but to truly hear each other and be patient and respect their thoughts, and to just really hone in on what their strengths are and make sure that they're shining in that area, and don't just leave them behind if you see that they're slacking. Like, speak up, respect your partner, and just tell them respectively, like, hey, babe, I see what you're doing here, but is this really, going to enhance our future? No, maybe not. Maybe we try it like this. So my advice would just be to be patient and hear your partner and be respectful to them.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you. Well, Lysa, look, you gotta give me some. You gotta give me some room. You sounded verbatim, exactly like my wife. I mean, I'm talking about like when I say it, carbon copy, mirror image.
That's why I didn't say anything.
I'm just like, wait a minute, hold on.
Sounds like me.
What
did you say?
To not give up and to separate it. Know that, just because you have a bad work day with your spouse, that doesn't mean that you should have a bad day in your relationship. And so I think like my biggest advice is for entrepreneurs that's in a relationship with another entrepreneur is to be able to say what you need to say and then move on from that. So many times, like, even just even in business, if it's not with your spouse, so many people get their emotions caught up, in it when it's just business. Like, hey, this was an issue. We've addressed this issue. Now let's move on. There's no reason to dwell on, any other previous things. Let's move on and get the job done.
That's good.
That needs to happen for everyone.
Advice. Yeah.
A lot of times people do, take that energy that they have from working their business, if they're working it together, to their relationship. So that's definitely some good information. That's some really good advice. So what would you do differently if you were just starting out? What would you do differently as far as how you approach your business and your relationship?
I personally, if we could rewind back, I listen and truly hear, because I had a lot of pushback in the beginning, coming from working in school and having a traditional job, having parents that have traditional jobs. It took a while for me to get on board and truly, the future and the vision that he had for us and so something I would do differently is to just listen and hear him and just take the advice, because I know it's coming from a good space, instead of pushing back and being so relentless with rebuttals. But that's what I would do.
That's hard, because like, especially as a teacher, that's kind of something that's going against kind of being a teacher. As when we were growing up, we were taught by our teachers, you go to school, you get a good job, you go to school, you go to college, you get a good job, you retire and live happily ever after. That's what we were taught. And the world has changed 11 times since then. So going against that, especially as a teacher, that's a little hard. It's hard to wrap your mind around that. So yeah. I can understand the pushback, but I definitely understand in hindsight, where you'll be like, you know what, I should have just, listened and went forward with it at that time.
You know what's funny? What's funny is now I see me. And the crazy part about it was because I pushed.
Yes.
I worked for the VA hospital here in Houston. Okay. And I had been working there for a while. So, government job, awesome benefits.
That's a good job.
401k, the whole nine. And, when I got with her and seeing how she was doing things, and, at first I pushed, because I was like, well, first off, this is not what I'm used to. Like, let's structure this. Let's put this in here in a box and we can work this formula and do it. But the more I was around her, the more my entrepreneurial spirit from years prior started coming to the surface. And I started to like, wait, hold up. No, it's not gonna fit in this little box. Let me open this up real quick, because from what I'm seeing versus what I know and what I feel in my heart, and I'm looking at the direction that it's going, and I see the course, and I know how to make it work, but I don't want to make it work. I don't want to make that work. Let's make something else work that don't require me to do a bunch of work. But it's it became contagious. Yeah. And one thing about being with an entrepreneur, it catches you like wildfire, and like you'll find yourself slowly but surely starting to branch off and do different things, try different avenues, and next thing you know, you look up you have about 3 or 4 businesses, and now you like, okay, you know what? Forget this 9 to 5.
Yep.
I don't have to take nothing from all of these other people or the backbiting of coworkers and stuff like that. I can do this on my own, and I can stand on my own 2 feet. And that's basically kind of how I started developing my entrepreneurial spirit again. And then I just kind of had to find my niche. And when I did, oh wait.
I can tell you it smells so good.
That part.
So, Jahcorrian, what would you do differently?
What I would do differently is listen. I would say that, well, at the beginning of our relationship, maybe after about a year in, I did go through a depression stage in my life, and I feel like, mental health is a very important aspect that we should embrace on working towards in our communities. But he was able to pull me out of it, but I just feel like maybe I stayed in there longer than I needed to be because I wasn't listening. And I guess it stemmed from me really just, being too much of an introvert and, wanting to stay into myself. And so she pulled me out of it, and I listened and just started to, go out and mingle and converse with more and more people to where, I was able to pull myself up out of that with the help of her. And so, but I would say definitely what I would change differently, that would be.
It's funny how a good woman to do that to you, though.
Yes.
I mean, for real, because like for a man that's an entrepreneur, it's almost impossible to find a woman that is that grounded, that with that type of a mentality, that type of a mindset. Y'all are not grown on trees.
And discipline is just remarkable.
And honestly, like I do totally know where he's coming from, because before we got together, my second wife had passed away, and I had plunged into a deep depression, and it got real bad. And she pulled me out. Well, I had to pull myself out. But I always say that she pulled me out because she was the end goal. Mm-hmm. Yeah. She was where I was trying to be at. And so I had to push to that mark. And I pushed to that mark. And when I got with her, she just kind of pushed me to a different mark. Mm-hmm. And another one. And then next thing you know, she was sounding like DJ Khaled after 6 months.
Another one.
And another one.
You're the best.
Small circles, Alan. Small circles. I mean,
I am a DJ Khaled.
She hyped me up. She pushed me to get to where I am and to put me in the headspace that I'm at. And I love her for it. And that's something that Jahcorrian, I hear in you. Like you can't buy that.
Yeah, you can't.
I kind of do. I feel like a lot of the, similar energy between us and you guys. But I do want to ask some more questions. I'm nosy. Do you have any ventures that are upcoming that you are about to begin, or is this just your sole focus?
Well, as far as I have one book that I just released, right now since pre-orders, it teaches the 7 steps on how to win every deal through negotiation. I have a second book that it's how to buy a house. So that would be educating for the consumer on 5 steps on purchasing a house. A lot of times real estate professionals, it's all like, hey, just sign here.
Yeah. And then they're left with so many questions.
So many questions.
Yeah. Oh man, we definitely have to talk about this book. That's another show.
And we also have a planner coming out that will be for July 2021 through 2022. That's specifically for real estate agents, how to get themselves out of that cliche, oh, I closed 2 deals in my first year. How to get them out of that cliche to being a millionaire agent within the first 2 years.
That is going to be invaluable. I mean, we want to talk about that too. That's a different
right.
show.
I mean,
because
I'm gonna get ready to start me a book.
Okay.
And she's gonna get ready to start her book.
Yes.
And so,
my book, y'all.
Oh wait. Although I think my book, it'll be like a textbook.
Okay.
It'll be a textbook.
Definitely.
And I got the concept from my ace, my sister, Lysa Danae. She gave me the concept for it, and it's something that I am very much so definitely going to do, because it's going to be about how to love a broken woman.
Oh.
Yeah.
And for any man that has stepped into a situation in which where a woman has been abused, and how to make her into her again, without making it a tooth and nail argument or fight. Not any type of confusion, no games, no, just to really break down what you actually have to do in order to mend a broken heart and put together a broken woman.
That's going to be so deep. So tell everybody where they can find your books.
So right now you can find my book on Amazon, just by typing in the word finesse, special spelling like that. Or you could add me on Facebook and just send me your email address, and I can send you the link to your book.
Super, super exciting. I'm definitely going to check those out. I'm very, very grateful that you guys came and spent your Sunday with us, because I have learned quite a bit, but I always do. But you guys have given me a different set of jewels and a different perspective, because before I thought that I was just different as far as not caring if I had to have time off. Let's just work. You want some time? Come with me when I work. I felt like I was just weird, because that's how I felt. But to see you guys, it makes me feel refreshed, that I had that outlook. And I'm just really in awe, of the discipline that you display to keep it that way. So how do you do it with the kids though? Do you have small children?
We do, yes.
We have
5 and 2. Yeah, she will be. She'll be 2 in 2 weeks.
The 2.
Yeah.
So,
goodness gracious.
Okay, who packs the 5-hour energies and the monsters?
I mean, because that 2-year-old has to be a bundle of energy.
Oh yes,
we
we just started school in January, and that has been the biggest help for both of us.
Yes, we were online, and the 2-year-old, 1-year-old, she was home. Everybody was home, so it was a little bit of chaos, but a good kind of chaos. The chaos. But yeah, once we put them into school physically, face to face, it helped out tremendously as far as productivity.
So
Absolutely.
Into our day as well, and so now I say at that 4:00 time, when it's time to pick up the kids, kind of transition. She goes into mommy's mode, and then I finish up any work that we're kind of like lingering on, and then maybe about 6 o'clock is when we both have time to either like sit down and watch something with the kids, or go and play outside or do something.
I love that. I love that. That is amazing. And the way that you guys are able to pass the baton and make your day flow. That's amazing. And I think that it's important that your children go to school. They need that social interaction, and you guys need that time away from your children as well as they need it away from you.
Yes.
So we definitely want to let everybody know how they can get in touch with you. But first, we're going to go to a really quick commercial. And when we come back, we'll talk about how they can get in touch with you and homework.
All right, great.
Are you looking for a quality pre-owned vehicle but have less than perfect credit? Look no further than Mi Amigo Motors, offering in-house financing to help you build or reestablish your credit. All vehicles are put through a multi-point inspection, and their award-winning customer service and on-site service center will make your buying experience stress-free. I know you got your stimulus check and it's tax refund season, so stop by Mi Amigo Motors today at 9729 Long Point Road or give them a call at 832-548-5927 to reserve your appointment for their VIP approval. Again, that's 832-548-5927. And don't forget to mention Stunner Radio sent you.
Thank you so much for sticking with us during that small commercial break. So please tell everybody how they can find you on social media, how they can reach out to you.
Yeah, I am on Facebook, but they can find me at Simple and then Good Letty, but they can just. And then on Instagram, I am Simple Name Good. That's it. I do actually run social medias, so 9 times out of 10, if they are on social media, they're talking to me, but they can communicate to him on social media as well. He does have 2 Instagrams at the moment, but the one that
They can find me on all social medias, and my website as well on Jahcorrian. On my website is Jahcorrian.com.
Awesome. So we have homework for everybody.
Okay.
So homework for this week is go onto Love and Entrepreneurship Facebook page and put a picture of your wife and mother, or wife or mother, either or. And there's a prize for the person that puts the sweetest caption. And I give really good prizes, so I can definitely pat my own back on that one. So you might want to go post if you want a prize.
I have an unfair advantage because I always end up having I have a niche where I happen to find the right thing to say, the perfect card, or the perfect gift.
He finds the perfect cards. The wording perfect. And I'm like, how did you find this? How did you make this fit? And it fits us all the time. So that's what the homework is. Homework is, post your mother's or your significant others or both to the Love and Entrepreneurship Facebook page, and the sweetest caption that I see will get a prize. And I'm very, very romantic. So if you're writing about your significant other, the mushier you are, the better chance that you have to win that prize.
I'm just gonna say, now she's telling me she wants me to go ahead and post. So I'm gonna come.
He can't win, guys, so don't worry about that.
Yeah, but I'm gonna come with it though. I ain't gonna lie.
He can't win, but the prizes are in his reach, so he might take one regardless. But he can't win. And if you win, I make a big production out of it. I make a big production out of everything. So
love it.
So I'm super, super glad that you guys came and spoke with us. Is there anything that you want any advice that you want to give to couples out there who are struggling and maybe single, or a single entrepreneur, or a couple out there that is struggling and on the rocks and need help as far as balancing love and entrepreneurship?
I would say find what you're good at, what both of you are also good at, and do it.
is very similar to the same thing I said earlier. Just be patient with each other and hear each other and be respectful to each other.
Absolutely. One thing that we have gotten from every couple is that word, patience. You have to be patient because our life is very unpredictable, and anything can happen, at the last minute, at the drop of a dime, things can come up. So patience is definitely very key. But I definitely have to, continue to give you guys, major pat on the back because what you're doing is amazing. The dynamic that you have is awesome. It's great the way that you pass the baton to each other and keep your flow.
I love the philosophy that they have for their relationship.
I do too.
I like that philosophy. Like you can't get no better than to run. It's like running a relay race.
Now he says,
it's just like running a relay race. And when both of you can hold the baton at the same time and cross the finish line at the same time,
that's amazing.
I mean, it gets no sweeter than that. That's like winning the championship with your best friend. Like you can't beat that.
Absolutely, because you can share it. Both of you guys can share that, and the memories that you're making. Oh my gosh. Like everything is going to be amazing going down the line and looking back at it and like, oh, look at what we did. And the fact that you're going to be able to cross that finish line together, holding hands, that's amazing. And it's not going to do anything but enhance your relationship. Man. Enhance the stability of your relationship, the longevity of your relationship.
Nothing
will break y'all up.
I would love to see their journey after 10 years.
Absolutely. Y'all gonna come back in 10 years. We're gonna be on TV by then. We're gonna be big time.
I mean, but just to go back, and look at like the journey of where y'all started from to where y'all ended up, like, but hand in hand though. Like,
how long has it been?
We've been married for 3 years, but we've been together for 4 years.
Yeah.
Right. So your business, how as far as your being in business together the way that you are, how long has that been?
We actually started in insurance together. Mm-hmm. And we did that for a year. And then we did
so we've been in business together for 3.5 years.
Yeah.
Okay. And you work it the same way with the other business that you have?
Exactly. Yeah. I actually would probably work together more.
Yeah.
Just because, wherever we go, like for all of our meetings, we tag team them together all the time. And now it may be where, hey, you have such and such meetings, and
now I'll take over this. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for insurance, there's a little bit more. I wouldn't say together because we're still always together, but had different positions. Like
I was her boss.
Yeah, I didn't want to. he was above me as far as position, and I wasn't. So the way that we worked it was kind of like, hey, I called this person. We have a meeting at this time, and they'll okay, cool, I'll be there. So, but for like you said, for real estate, it's been more so that, and then I'm gonna do this and do that. We might be in the same room, but we're not tackling the same client.
Gotcha. So, are there any businesses that you do separately?
Separately, yeah, not really.
Would you do any businesses separately?
We have in the past, and just that it's not really kind of like if you have all these tasks in front of you, and there's only 2 of you. And then on the other side, you have this one task in front of you, and then there's 2 of you. You're going to get more work done doing that one thing together rather than all these other things. And there's only 2 of you. So we learned that kind of the hard way. Like, hey, I want to do this. Okay, well, I'm still doing this. Well, we're both still going to do this together as far as businesses. And it worked, but it was hectic. And we weren't happy at the end of the day. It was exhausting.
We didn't see each other at all.
And so,
oh goodness.
Yeah, and so we just learned that together we know our strengths and our weaknesses. So let's just hone in on them, on this one goal, once we get where we're trying to go, if we want to, separate ventures and it works out, we'll have teams to do that for.
Perfect. You're absolutely right. I'm not a person that I don't necessarily focus on one business. He does focus on his business, his one business, and that's the cooking. We both do travel, and that's kind of like a plan B to him. Chef Square is plan A, period. And on the other hand, I am Lysa the boss lady, and I have 7 businesses. So that would be the difference that I see, between us. But I do think that is a good insight, because when I'm having 7 businesses, sometimes I feel myself pulled in all those other paths. And if I was focusing on one, then I would only be focused on that one. But, one is not enough for me.
Well, because like within our business, like I told you, we basically do education based, but we have different type of products as well. And so I consider like each product is a business. You have to market that those specific individuals that are liking their product. But so it's like with you owning 7 businesses, you just have to figure out a way to delegate. You can still own 7 businesses, but just create, that mother corporation where you run it else that can delegate those other businesses.
You are so right. I have learned the magic of outsourcing.
Yes.
You know what? The one thing, but I guess that's where I come in to facilitate.
Yeah.
Because what happened was when I looked up and I was like, wait, you got 7?
And then he's like, okay, let me take 2.
I'll take 2. I'll take 2. And that way, if I have 5 and you have 5, then we can.
That's exactly what happened.
We can meet in the middle.
One night, I told him, by the time he came home, I said, I just started 2 businesses today. And he was like, 2 more? So that's 7. I was like, yeah, that's 7. And he was like, okay, well, let me take those 2 that you started. But I feel that I feel that it's important, the businesses that I started, because I'm just an advocate of selling whatever I buy.
Yeah. And again,
I buy it, I sell it.
The best salesman, you have to believe in your product.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I agree. So can you tell our viewers one more time where they can find you on social media?
They can find me on social media just by typing in Jahcorrian, Jahcorrian. You can find me on all social medias. If you type in your web browser and you put .com behind it, you'll find my website as well.
You can find me on all social media. And the rest. But you can just type in my name. Not like super common, so it's not going to be hard to find.
So that's one of the great things about both of our names.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Like if you type it in Facebook, another Jahcorrian won't come up and another civil spelled.
Right. When you messaged me the first time and all I did was put in JAHC to find you again, I was like, oh, there he is. I already knew. And then on Instagram, it was very easy to tag you. So I don't know why I didn't know your name. Sybil, because I was looking and I was like, I thought it was, but I wasn't sure. So I wasn't able to tag you because I didn't know. And I was moving so fast that I didn't stop to ask. But I do think that it would be easy to find you guys on social media. It was very easy for me to do. I want to remind everybody about your homework. It's not hard homework. So go to Love and Entrepreneurship, the Facebook page, and post your mom or your wife, and or both, and the sweetest caption that I see will win a prize. You can also go to love.and.entrepreneurship on Instagram, and you can do the same. And I'm going to be looking on both of those. So if I see your post on there and it's really, really sweet, then you get a prize. What'd you say?
I said, I'll be sure to post, not her.
She might be sweet. What do you mean? She might help you win. So I'll definitely be looking for that post from all of you guys. Thank you so much for being our guest. We really truly enjoyed you, and we got some really good information from you. And we do hope that you'll visit us again.
Yes, thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you.
So with that being said, happy Sunday and happy Mother's Day, everybody.
Yes, happy Mother's Day
to you as
Thank
well.
y'all for having
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Happy Sunday.
Take it easy.